I'm going to talk about how we can manage our health. So I'll start by saying that there are 3 types of diseases. One is communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Please, can we have the slide from the technical room? Yeah, so we have communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Now, communicable diseases are the diseases that can go from person to person. Can you give me an example of one?
Cough.
Cough. One very common example that everybody children are afraid of that happened recently.
Measles.
I was expecting COVID-19 now is a communicable disease, right? So communicable disease is a disease that go from one that if somebody has hepatitis B, yeah. In fact, that one is very serious because it is being shared by sweat. Hepatitis B, flu, HIV, yes. Okay, so I want to know one answer from this side. What are the examples of non-communicable disease from this side? Communicable disease. Okay, I think I was Thank you. Tuberculosis. Because the reason I say is because it's endemic, it's common in Nigeria. Almost everybody is a TB carrier. Now, but now today I want to talk about non-communicable diseases. That means disease that if somebody has, husband and wife cannot transfer. If somebody has, it doesn't mean the other person will have, right? So an example is hypertension. Now, most of these diseases happen for 2 reasons cause non-communicable disease. One is modifiable risk factors. Risk factors are what you can be doing that can make you have it. What you can be and what you'll be doing that can make you susceptible to disease is called risk factor. So there are 2 types. Ones that you cannot change. Now let's talk about the ones you can change. What are the things that you can modify about yourself? And the first one is physical exercise. Now, when you do physical exercise, one of the things you are doing is that you are managing your body. Now, how many of us have cars? You drive car, you have your own car, not you rent and I mean the one that you have in your house. You will discover that when you have a car you're managing, at a certain time, you need to take that car for servicing, right? Yeah. If the car did not break down, you just go for service. Although in Nigeria, we wait for the car to break down before we take it for service. But normally, you don't wait for the car to break down before you service. That is what exercise does. So when you wake up, you are not sick, you just like to exercise. Because exercise, number one, it helps produce some hormones in your body. It helps your muscles, your kidney, all of them to have some, to go through some physiological function that make them to perform better. So anytime you are exercising, see you are sweating, electrolytes are coming out of your body, your heart beats. In fact, exercise is one of the ways you can use to monitor your heart rate. You see that people that play ball, you will see that their heart rate can even go as low as 40. So exercise is like you are flushing, you are servicing your body because hormones are released into your body, your heart pumps in, pump out, the muscle of the heart becomes stronger. And you know why you need to exercise your muscle? So in case there's an external factor that wants to increase the heart rate, your body is already, the muscle of your heart is very already strong because you have been exercising. But some people, you just call the name, they just shock. Why? Because the muscles, the heart is very, so you don't exercise. So when you're exercising, you are training your muscle. And I want to tell you 2 things about exercise. Number one, for exercise, you're supposed to exercise at least 150 to 300 minutes. That's about 30 minutes per day. And there are different types of exercise. No, there's yoga. But the one I'm talking that there are different types of exercise for different purposes. But I won't be able to go into details. But I'm going to tell you one. The one that you do that will be sweating like you are dancing now. If your makeup is still intact, we have not joined this youth service by the way. If you are still looking fresh, I have not joined this youth service. So, but I'm still looking for what to do to you anyway. So that one you do that you are sweating is doing a lot of physiological, and that is the one you need for your heart. Other ones can be done to make you relax, tension. Other ones can be done to strengthen your muscle. You want to build muscle. But the one I'm talking about that will help you more for this is the one, and one of it is what? The one that will make you sweat, jumping, running, walking as well. But I prefer jump because sometimes you walk, you might not. Some people don't really sweat because they are walking so slow. But if you jump, but walking, you can start with walking. So every day you must do what? You must jump. Don't say I've got to walk. You don't have to discourage walking because some people say I've got to walk today and walk. Please jump. So can we do it for 5 minutes again? No, let's do 5. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sit down. You will see that you are more excited than before. Before you swear, you're more excited.
Let's go 50.
At the end of time, you now do 200. So when you stood up and exercise now, you see that blood flow in your body, you are not exercising. That is why people that are going to depression, they tell them to exercise. That is one of the ways you can. So, especially women, if by the time you finish housework, you can be so stressed. Just exercise. That's hormone, the one that will come to flush everything out. So, exercise is a way to manage stress. Is a way to ensure that our health is stable. And there's no amount of exercise that is too small. Now I told you to jump for 5 hours, and for you jump 5 times, right? Start with something. Don't wait that you want to register for gym. It is a scam. Start exercise in your house. Don't wait and say I want to exercise now. I want to change my shoe. How many people are wearing okay today is Sunday, but normally you come to join. You can do exercise in your clothes. You don't need to wear pants. You can even wear your native. And don't the deception of the enemy that will tell you go and register for gym before you start exercising. I've never been to a gym and I exercise almost every day. You can go to gym at least. It's good, it's encouraged. But I'm saying that should not be an excuse. There are some things that you buy inside your house, like this way to listen something. They are DIY. Not more than 10 minutes. You can be listening if you want to be. So tell your neighbor there's no excuse.
There's no excuse
for not exercising this year. So don't say I want to go and change my shoe. By the time you say I need to exercise, so I want to go and change my shoe. I want to go and change my clothes. I want to go out. Exercise in your living room. Stay in your living room and exercise. And I encourage in-house exercise with no equipment. And because it makes people to exercise. We show that people exercise more. If there's too much preparation and too much. Don't be too. I need to get this note. I need to go here. Have a place in front of your dining that you exercise. Exercise every day. And no exercise is too small. No exercise is too big. Then let's go to diet. I think I will just stop with that. Okay. Let's go to that. Then check what you eat. If you are a bricklayer, you wake. How many of us eat suji in the morning? Don't be shy. You eat suji in the morning. Yes. If you are a footballer, you are a bricklayer. You eat suji in the morning. You know that you are going to burn it, right? But if you are working in an office or you are working from home, you now wake up and eat suji. What will happen to the suji? The suji will stay in your system now. If the suji will do what? You are bad. So this person say that the food you eat must balance with your energy expendation. It must balance to how much energy that you use. Why? Because the food you eat is energy. If you don't use it, it will store in your body. It can store in your tummy. It can store any part of your body. And your genetics determine where your food store. Like if after my lineage, if you eat too much, it will store in your belly. And that, yes, you will just have pot belly. But that is not because your gene is configured to store fat in some parts. It could be at your back here. It could be anywhere of your body. So you need to make sure that you don't eat excess. So if you know that today is not a busy day, I just want to stay at home, then you have to do what? Eat light food in the morning. Now the reason our parents eat every food is because they go to farm yes in the morning and they burn that food. So number 2, intake of trans fats. Now I don't know how to explain this in this short time, but let me say if you are still eating pizza every day, mayonnaise and butter, you know butter, margarine, they have high trans fat, and the danger is that these fats they don't dissolve in your body. It can come to a condition like to block artery and it causes a lot of disease. So please, if you are cooking, avoid solid fats. Just oil is very cheap in Malaysia. As much as possible, reduce solids and reduce food that contain them. Now, I will not have time to explain, but when you want to buy your food, you can check the components. They will tell you this is trans fat, right? You can check it. This is Malaysia. Everything is documented. Nothing can be sold without. So please avoid trans fat. Now, a lot of times we see people they just they die. They think something happened. It could be that the bloodstream is obstructed because of the type of fats in their body. So please let's try cholesterol. So let's try to avoid food that has trans fat. So the assignment you do for me, you just go home and check source of trans fat and red meat. You know in Africa we used to eat a lot of red meat, very high in cholesterol. Then please don't you eat too much salt. You are supposed to eat 5 grams per day. So how do you know if you are eating too much salt? Just take 5 grams, measure it, and use it. And if you finish that 5 grams that day, that is already eating too much salt. And if you are 10 people in the house, 5 times 10, 50, right? Take 50 grams of salt and see if you are exhausted. So you will not think that using too much. Or to is my point. This is a simple mathematics. Let's assume that you are 2 people in the house. That means your salt intake should just be 10 grams, right?
How to measure gram? It's not spoon or something.
No, you need to measure it on the scale. This is an experiment you need to do. Measure it on the scale. This is just for you to know how much salt that you eat per day. It's just sometimes you'll be surprised that some of us from Africa we eat up to 10 grams per person per day. Because in a household of 3, you are eating 50 grams of salt. So you need that packet of salt, I think it's 1 gram. That packet of salt. Is it 1 gram or 100 gram? You know there's a small packet. So when you buy salt, the gram is on it. Check how long it takes you to finish that salt. Then calculate. If you finish it in 1 month, so that gram divided by 10. How my calculation is?
Yes, correct.
Alright, so then take saturated fat. I think I talked about that. Then please limit intake of raw sugar. Raw sugar is not good for your body. The food you take, you know the suji you take is also sugar. Do you know the suji you take, all this rice and everything, is also glucose in the body. So when you not take coke, you are putting too much glucose. And let me tell you something. Let's assume that the pancreas is supposed to work for 30 years. And if you take 1 bottle of coke, maybe the pancreas can last the person for 30 years. If you take 2 bottles of coke per day, how long will the pancreas last? Simple mathematics. Now, if your pancreas is supposed to last 30 years, and that 30 years, and you take 1 bottle per day, if you take 15 bottles per day, if you take 2 bottles per day, that means it lasts 15 years, right? If you take now half of them, 1 bottle per day, 4 bottles per day, it will now last 7.5 years. So, human body, our system, the way it's created, the organ are created to last us. But if you now push, you are now overusing it. Every day, you are overusing it. That means you are overusing your system. So it makes it break down faster. For example, if you have a workshop, and in that workshop you have 3 people working for you, and suddenly you have big order. So suddenly you have big order, and there are so many people coming. That is the workers will overwork, right? And when they overwork, they are going to get sick and fall sick. So then number 3, portion your food. Don't take big sushi, 10 minutes, you don't need it. As long as you are old, the sushi you need is very small. So portion your food and also fast. Some of us, we did not even fast once last year. So one of the ways, fasting is a health method. If you cannot fast, there's something wrong already. So you must encourage yourself. Nobody will die by fasting. If you are fasting, just lock yourself in and say, I will not pray. I will not, because something will tell you to go and pray that you're almost dying. And the last one, avoid alcohol. Alcohol has been linked to liver disease. And the last one, do not smoke. That does not affect, because we don't drink, right? And we don't smoke. That does not affect us.
This stuff you don't do.
So that one does not affect us. But for those that drink, drinking is related to cardiovascular disease and also cessation. Smoking is, we are expected to stop smoking. Now the last thing, I'm going to teach us how to. Please, can you have the paper distributed? We are going to do a simple calculation to know if you are overweight or not. Because the food you eat determines how heavy you are. Now, if you look at this paper, yes, please let's distribute it fast. If you have this paper, it tells you your weight over your height. Weight over your height. Your BMI is your weight over your height square. Please let someone help him and distribute it fast. Please start your collect. So I give us 2 minutes to calculate your BMI. So the person that calculates it fast is the winner.
So BMI, explain it again. Well, weight divided by
height square is on the paper. Please let's bring out your calculator. This is a youth. You are going to use your brain today. This is youth service. Please can someone let's just do. So I'm going to give you the weight. You are going to use my weight. 60 kg for an example, and my height is 1.6. Now weight has to be in kg, and height has to be in meter. Weight has to be in kg and height. So I count up to 20. Whosoever is able to calculate it? 1, 2,
so we must know our weight.
3. I give you weight. Weight is 60. Height is 1.6. I give you my weight. Weight is 60. Height is 1.6. Okay. 1. No. You need to measure. I'm giving you a test. Just weight 60 and height 1.6. Now I count up to 21, 2, 3, 4. Anybody able to calculate? 5.
23.
Please clap for me. Got it. Can we have the calculation on the board?
Tell us, okay.
Let it be projected. You got it. So go home and check your weight.
Weight over height.
We have how to check the weight. We have how to check the weight here. We have your weight checker. We have height checker as well. Please can you be projected media? Can it be projected? BMI calculation.
Okay.
Alright, so BMI, weight over height squared. So that is 60 over 6.6.
Okay.
Making it 60 over 2.65, and that gives us the weight of the BMI of 23. So that 23 you need to check here to know This is to know if you are overweight. Got it. So this umbrella there, you need to check if you are overweight, if you are obese. So if you are overweight and obese, you need to reduce your food. Maybe change. If you are eating 3 times a day, you change it to 1 time in a day. Thank you for having me. Sorry for taking your time.
Let's